Kling AI just dropped version 2 of their AI video model, packed with major upgrades and claiming the top spot in the AI rankings. But is it really that good? In this video, you will find a detailed review of Kling version 2. We will test it in action against other state-of-the-art models like Runway Gen 4 and Google's Veo 2 and find out if it is worth your time and money. The first challenge: woman looks down at her hands as the camera follows her gaze, then a parrot gently lands on her hands. This prompt challenge includes a consecutive complex motion. We have subject motion and camera motion. I really like how Kling version 2 closely followed my prompt and gave me exactly what I asked for. There are a few nuances in the other results that we need to consider. For example, in Runway's output, when woman looks down, parrot is already there. You will realize that second part of my prompt specifically asks that parrot lands on her hands after woman looks down. Google's Veo 2 followed my prompt carefully, but it feels like everything happened all together, versus when you look at Kling's output, you will clearly see the consecutive action being followed step by step. The next challenge is about rendering environmental effects. Flooding is a big challenge for AI video models. In the Kling's output, you will see very clearly that what I asked for was delivered perfectly. Flood hits the city, it fills up streets and cars being pushed away. Runway didn't quite get what we asked for and just gave me a massive ocean wave just closing the camera fully. And Veo 2 gave me the flooding, but it looks very static and it doesn't fully cover what I asked in my original prompt. In the next example, we are challenging models both from dynamism perspective and prompt understanding perspective. I really like how dynamic Kling's output looks like. If you look closely, you may realize that the coherence of our character's face diminishes a little bit, but it's in acceptable ranges. The galloping, the high-speed action and dynamism is here. The camera circling around her is not fully rendered here. Runway output, on the other hand, looks again very much slow motion and it's not really high speed as we asked. I think shot itself is fine. I think Google's Veo 2 output is not even usable. It just looks like the soldiers behind her following her because of some reason, like they're all looking at her. I think dynamism of horse, the galloping is not as high speed as the Kling output. In the next example, we have again a dynamism and prompt understanding challenge. We have an old library with levitating objects, and additionally we have a camera motion here. We want camera to tilt downwards. Kling gave me floating objects, furnitures and books in the old library in a great way. I also got camera tilt down as I wanted. Runway managed to give me floating objects. It doesn't look as natural as Kling output, but we got what we asked for. Instead of camera tilting downwards, we got camera moving vertically down. It's not exactly what I asked for. Veo 2 didn't give me camera tilt down, but besides books, I don't have anything else dynamically in the air. Versus if you look at the Kling output, you will see that both furnitures and books are levitating, which feels like the model was able to render the initial image much better than other two models. And final challenge for our models is a fight scene of two samurais with katanas. For a long time now, all AI video models are struggling with this challenge. Kling version 2 is same. There is definitely some improvement with the movements of samurais that I can observe, but still it doesn't look like a natural fight. The swords coherence get lost, especially when they touch each other. Model struggles a lot to render it properly. And similar problems are observed with Runway Gen 4 as well. Even though coherence of katanas disappear in between, I like that Runway's output was very dynamic. They really look like they engage in an active fight, which looks natural. And Veo 2 output looks more like a slight disagreement than a katana fight. Now, let's also quickly compare Kling version 2 to previous version 1.6. In this challenge, what I like the most in the new version is the slight little push that man is giving to the eagle when he wants eagle to fly away, versus the initial shot of Kling 1.6 looks a little bit more static. It almost like eagle decides to go. After the slight push, how eagle finds its balance and wings are dynamically moving, versus 1.6 looks a little bit more static. In this example, I have a wolf and also I want camera to follow the wolf while running in fast speed. I think this is one of the good examples that how well Kling version 2 improved in comparison to previous version. Kling 1.6 output, it almost looks like wolf is crippled, versus version 2 output pretty much just flows nicely. Motion looks very dynamic and natural. In the next example, I'm trying to understand improvement in terms of human emotion rendering, and prompt is very simple. I just wrote she's angry. One thing I like about version 2 output is her lips are not moving finally. In Kling 1.6 output, every single time when I add an emotion, lips were almost moving, which was a little bit annoying. It's good to see that that's improved. And last challenge is a gunfight in a gas station. Here we have a complex motion, and again the version 2 output looks very dynamic, but dynamism then becomes a little bit chaotic. In the second part of the video footage, you will see that version 2 output gets completely chaotic. Coherence drops, we have new people appearing, emerging, and some of the existing ones disappear. And version 1.6 output looks a little bit more static. However, coherence is much better. Now let's take a look at the changes new version brings. We have something called multi-elements, this new feature introduced today, and it's separate from version 2. In fact, it doesn't work with version 2 yet, but most likely it will be coming very soon. They call this multimodal visual prompting. It simply means using text and multimodal descriptors, meaning that you can reference images and videos inside of your text prompts. Initially, when I saw this, I thought this is similar to Runway's world consistency feature, which is not launched yet while I'm recording this video. But after playing with that, I realized it doesn't have that sort of flexibility. It's more similar to Pika's recent feature, which is Pika Swap. We have swap, add, and delete features. Simply, you can upload a video, and this video doesn't have to be generated on Kling, and you can delete objects and elements from these videos dynamically. I think this is really cool. I had this original video where I had a parrot on the shoulders of the robot. After that, I uploaded that to Kling and I dynamically selected the prompt. The cool thing here, when you upload a video and select an element, Kling provides you a prompt template. You don't need to remember all of these prompting structures. After writing the prompt and specifying that I want parrot to be deleted from the original video, I got this footage. In the same way, I use add feature. I uploaded this video here. This is simply a lava is entering from the cracks of an old opera house. And then I uploaded this image of a subject. And then I wrote, using the context of reference video, seamlessly add running woman from image 1. So we are simply saying to the model, add this woman to this scene. And this is the end result looks like. I actually wanted to show you swap feature as well. I uploaded an original video of a character aiming with the rifle. And I edit an image of a woman. I simply ask model to swap man in the video and replace the subject with the woman. Every single time I wanted to use it, unfortunately I got error from the platform. Therefore, I can't show you this at the moment. One thing to note here, original elements feature, where we were using for character, location, and object references, are not available with version 2 yet. Most likely it will be coming in upcoming days. There are few changes for image to video with version 2. End frame at the moment isn't supported. You will realize that we don't have a professional mode. In the past we had standard and professional mode distinction. At the moment we don't have this separation anymore. We also don't have creativity versus prompt following sliders. At least for now it's gone. In this example I wrote female robot crawls toward the camera while laughing hysterically, while the camera slowly tilts into a Dutch angle. Unfortunately, it didn't understand second part of my prompt, but I got the hysteric laugh and she's crawling into the camera, which is cool. In this example, I use again subject motion and camera motion together. So jackals approaching cautiously in the foreground, then focus shifts to a speeding car appearing at the far end of the street. I really like how focus changed from jackals to the car, and car is speeding up really fast, really dynamic. I think this is very impressive prompt adherence. Camera slowly focusing on chandelier, and then it falls into the lava and bursting into flames. And look how amazingly it followed the prompt. After the drop, you can see the flames. It looks really good, but of course there are a few elephants in the room we need to discuss. This video took me 39 minutes to generate. It's a 5 seconds video. And since the model is fresh, I think their servers are cooked at the moment and everyone is generating stuff, and therefore it takes really long time. Another issue is definitely the cost. Generating 5 seconds video costs 100 credits at the moment. This is the most disappointing part for me. I was expecting they would keep the price at least same. and they wouldn't increase it, but unfortunately they increased the cost and no unlimited plan announced. In the press conference, they hinted a cheaper version of new model, which seems absolutely necessary considering 5 seconds video costs 100 credits at the moment. So I will be really looking forward for that new version. And also I would like to note that I compared in terms of lip syncing. Still seems to be using the old model. Today, they also introduced an upgrade to their AI image generation model, KOLORS 2.0. So here I compared the KOLORS output to some of the other state-of-the-art AI image generators. You can see that it gave us what I asked for. But one funny thing was, when I generate this image in the grid, 3/4 of my grid was all Ryan Gosling, which gives some ideas about their training data. Additionally, I had possibility to try subject reference consistent characters feature with new AI image generator, KOLORS version 2. You need to choose the face reference and you upload an image. And cool thing is it automatically finds the face of your character here. And then I simply wrote cinematic photo of a blonde woman wearing white shirt, giving a speech on the stage. I ran this prompt both with previous version of KOLORS and the new version. And I observed that actually subject reference was much worse with the new AI image generator model. It did a much better job with previous version. Probably there was some errors or bugs in terms of subject reference and face reference quality of the new model. And I took one of the Ryan Gosling shots and at Studio Ghibli style image of man and woman, and it did an okay job, but struggled a little bit here with the eyes and mouth. So it seems there is still some room for improvement with the AI image generator model. ChatGPT's 4.0 image generator did a much seamless job with distinctively separating mouth and eyes. Hopefully this video was truly helpful for you. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe for more in-depth tutorials. If you want to learn more about future of storytelling, click here.